Thank you. Right, we're back to Daily Digest, and I have Kunle Adebi is the chief sales and you have to talk into the mic, sir.
Yeah, and distribution officer.
And distribution officer for MTN, and he's here to talk about the "Wear It For Me" campaign, which I found quite touching. I must add, because I don't think we need to overemphasize the importance, whatever Donald Trump thinks. The importance of, I know you don't need to react to that one. Yeah, I don't think we need to overemphasize the importance of wearing a mask as part of the prevention, as part of the things we need to do to make sure that we stop the spread of this dreaded virus. Yeah, so we'll be thanking your company for doing that, running a campaign. We know that it's part of CSR, but even then, some other people are sponsoring things like sports and things like that, but this one that concerns life is quite touching.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's quite touching. And I'm just wondering, who brought this idea up? I mean, was it thought of in-house, or one day the MD woke up at 2 a.m. and called you and said, look, I think we should be doing this? What brought this about?
Yeah, I think it's good morning, first of all, Nigerians. Good morning, Lagos, and thank you for having me.
We are watched all over the world. We're on Facebook.
Yes, that's why
and
I
on
said
YouTube. So you say good morning, world.
Good morning to the whole world, everywhere where you're listening to
yes.
Nigeria Info at this time. The Wear It For Me campaign, the mask, Wear Your Mask campaign itself is an extension of what a lot of other things that we've been doing. At the beginning of the pandemic itself, we at MTN Nigeria, in fact, at MTN Group, we launched what we call the Yellow Hope Initiative.
Okay.
So Wear It For Me is just an extension. It's to take it a bit further, take it a bit one notch up. Generally, there are quite a number of things that we have done already. So, I mean, it's in response to the pandemic itself. How do we, as a company, become a lot more responsible and responsive to the health of Nigerians?
Of Nigerians.
Yeah, that's the so it's not as if someone woke up and say, okay, this is what we are going to do. So there's a total package, and at some point, I hope I'll be able to also talk about the Yellow Hope Initiative, which is the precursor to the Wear It For Me campaign.
What's the Yellow Hope Initiative?
So when the pandemic started, people were running helter-skelter. A lot of people really needed help.
Yeah.
So the first thing was, how do we get money to buy PPEs, personal protective equipments? How do we get money to build isolation and quarantine centers? These are some of the challenges that we were facing in Nigeria.
Let's put it in common parlance. The palliatives.
Absolutely.
That's probably the lingo that our people will understand. So that you got involved in that.
Yeah. So we could not leave the government alone to do that. So at the federal government layer, at the state government layer, MTN came in to provide support. So the first thing we did as part of the Yellow Hope Initiative was to donate ₦1 billion to Kako Feed.
How much?
₦1 billion was what we put down.
Now on our money.
Absolutely.
I just had one. Was it in a check or bank transfer? Who signed it? Can I get his signature?
one of my colleagues will say ₦1 billion or ₦1 billion of any currency is no small money.
It's not small money.
It's $1 billion. So we put ₦1 billion in Kako Feed. So Kako Feed is coalition against COVID. So a couple of organizations came together and MTN put part of that. So part of that money was also what was used in building the isolation centers, across Nigeria. We also now put down ₦250 million through our foundation to support the purchase of PPEs, personal protective equipment, including masks for health officials and so on and so on. And that was done through the NCDC, Nigerian Center for Disease Control. In terms of support for Nigerians now, because we did this in layers, as it were, MTN, it's about people. So the first thing we did for our staff is to say, even before the federal government says there's restriction of movement, we already decided that okay, our staff should start to work from home.
You're virtually still on lockdown now.
We are not on lockdown, but we are still working.
Working from home.
Yeah,
but how has that affected your services?
So we have those who provide essential services and
Those ones come to the office
prepared. So
Okay.
we keep them up, and that's also to reduce the number of people that will be in the same space. So the network group guys, for example, are always on the field, attending to and solving network issues. They never stopped working, but of course they are properly kitted to ensure that they are protected. The sales team are also on the field, ensuring that they are.
That's
attending to
your own
customers.
people.
My team are also on the field across Nigeria, doing home delivery. Because you see, when the lockdown started, we knew that a lot of people might also fall into depression. You can imagine you being at home now. There's no TV, there's no data, no.
Did you lower the cost of data during the lockdown?
Well, a lot of things were done, including providing even free data.
Really?
Yeah.
How come I didn't hear of it? I was burning my data.
At that time,
Can I ask for a refund?
you and I can have a private conversation.
No, let it be in public. Let the whole of Nigeria hear now. Can I have a refund?
I would rather have a one-on-one.
I'm just joking
on
anyway.
that
Just
the data that we give to our customers
Yes.
to ensure that they are able to access the normal sites, because a lot of rumor were going up and down. Someone can even say, oh, if you eat bitter cola, for example, you will never have corona. When you listen to such info, you don't even know what to believe. So we gave 16 billion naira worth of free data to our customers to be able to access the right sites. For example, the WHO sites, the NCDC sites.
is that still in existence now?
A lot of these things are still in existence.
Okay, so how does it work now? If I want to access, if I'm using an MTN Wi-Fi and I want to access a WHO site,
yes,
then the payment slows down.
you don't even get it's zero rated. So what we did was to zero rate the NCDC at the height
an
of
NCDC.
and the NCDC site.
What about if I want to movie sites just to relax at home since I'm on lockdown?
That one
You pay. Don't mind me.
you pay for that one.
You don't need to sweat on this one.
we now we also
You don't have a
need to-
prankster.
I know. We also needed to keep the network alive. And for us
Yes.
to keep the network alive, we need to also make.
Going forward, I'm sure what some of my people will be asking is that are you going to be giving out free masks at some point?
At some point, yes. If you visit, that is in the works, and I understand. Even
How
after
soon
this
will
morning,
that be?
Very soon, very soon, very soon. So if you go into our service centers and you are entering the service center without a mask, you will be given one.
And you can go away with
You
it.
will definitely.
If I have to come back the next day and I've forgotten my mask, you'll be given another one.
As long as you come into MTN service centers, pretty soon you will be without a mask. You will be handed. But you see, the general thing is to actually encourage people
To wear this mask.
You don't need to spend so much money to buy fancy masks. Just ensure that.
If you look at the downfall drivers and some taxi drivers,
Yes.
some of the things you see, even as man, say the most important thing is to cover the nose and the mouth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, even your vest, you
convert-
can make 2 or 3 masks out of your vest.
Correct.
Any underwear, you can make masks out of them.
Underwear.
Underwear is vest, pants, and things like that. You can cut them. I mean, it's you know, I'm not thinking the way you are thinking.
I'm not thinking.
I need to take your hands free washing machine.
I'm not thinking.
No, don't mind me.
anything
Don't mind me. You know the way this thing goes. So, how long do you anticipate this might go on for?
Nobody knows.
So you believe that the campaign will go on for as long as we have the yes.
Yes, as long as we have Nigerians.
You know, because on CNN this morning, the Dr. Foz, what's his name, was saying that he didn't think things would normalize until the end of next year of 2021. So you have a long haul in front of you.
I share the same sentiment. Whether this particular campaign is going to continue is a different conversation because we keep on evolving. We will continue to
move with the times.
Different things that will ensure that people are safe.
I'm just, to be honest with you, Kunle, I'm just praying that another virus doesn't emerge. I hope that this doesn't become a permanent way of life, for us in the world.
Yeah.
Because I think we've done enough. We've done enough to make sure that enough viruses come into the world at various stages, and there's a lot of politics going on in that. Okay, now do you have any final message for?
Okay,
like they say, do you want to 50-50 or you want to call a friend?
I think it's just a message to Nigerians especially. The virus is still here. Do everything possible to protect yourself. Pretty simple. Wear a mask. Wash your hands from time to time with soap and water, running water. Maintain social distancing. And where you don't even have water, ensure that you use the right sanitizers. If you do those, I'm sure. And don't assume it's my friend, it's my childhood friend. He just came in from the village and he has to stay in my house, and you just throw caution to the wind. Let's still remain cautious.
I think that I think it works this way. The moment you get to a premises, like if you come to my house before you get into my apartment, before you come into the estate, in any case, they've done all that. But before you come into my own, about if I'm in a vulnerable distance, I don't want to go yet. So you sanitize, and I lead you to the kitchen. You wash your hands and do this and do. I think once you do that, and you wear a mask, the rest is left to God, really.
Are pretty protected.
Pretty protected.
On a final note, is to call on Nigerians to also join the campaign. I mean, if you have a phone, a device, and you go to weareitfor.me,
okay,
you can do that on your phone as well, as long as you have
weareitfor.me.
You will be able to join that campaign, because then you can take a picture of your face. The device will automatically give you like a mask. Then you can put your loved one's names. You can do as many as possible. Put your son's name.
If you have a wife, can you will your wife be able to see if you put your girlfriend's name?
Don't let me answer that.
Don't let me answer that one. Thank you very much, Kunle. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's I was talking to Kunle on the MTN Wear It For Me campaign, which is going on and which might jolly well go on till as long as we have this pandemic with us. Thank you very much, Kunle. We hope you'll be back pretty soon to tell us new developments. Okay, so we'll take a short commercial break, okay? And when I come back, then we'll look at one or two issues of the day. And most importantly, let me tell you the numbers to call: 0700 993 993 993. Let me repeat again: 0700 993 993 993. And the Twitter handle is @Nigeria Info FM. @Nigeria Info FM. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Thank you very much, Kunle. God.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, you're welcome back to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN, and this is Nigerian Phone 99.3. There's a story here I'd like to call your attention to. I think I spoke about it earlier this morning on at 7:30 with Sheriff. I'd like us to go through it again. It says U.S. slams visa ban on election riggers in Nigeria. This is in the Vanguard, and the story says the U.S. government has imposed visa restrictions on some individuals for their actions during the Kogi and Bayelsa governorship elections. And it says that in the statement yesterday, Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, said actions had also been taken against some persons in the run-up to the September and October 2020 governorship elections in Edo and Ondo State. The identities of those affected by the ban were not enclosed. My reaction, and I'd like to know what your reaction is, one, if you're telling us that some people have been banned because of their roles, why not tell us who they are to set the example right? But far more important to me is the fact that I believe so much in self-respect. And I believe that if you self-respect yourself, you will not be policed like a bunch of school children who have to be whipped into line. I mean, the Americans have an interest in making sure that peace prevails and elections are free and fair. But to dangle a visa ban as punishment, there's something behind that I find a bit untidy, and I think that we have not been respecting ourselves. We're the ones who have put ourselves in a position where that would happen. And I think it's about time that we as Africans free ourselves from this supervisory role that we have allowed the other countries over us. But then would you blame them? I remember the other time we had a problem in this, I think we had a problem in the Senate, and you had the Senator of the Republic of Nigeria saying that, I've called the American ambassador, I'm going to report you to him, and so on and so forth. Africans need to emancipate themselves in all forms. We are quietly going through a second slavery caused by us because we just refuse to get ourselves properly organized. I think it's a big pity. What you must understand, is that the Americans have their agenda, and it's always America first in anything that they do. That is fantastic. You cannot fault them for that, and I give them a lot of kudos and respect for that. The question is, do Nigerians think so likewise? Do other Africans also think so likewise? No. We go keep begging for aid, begging for this. We will report you, we will do this. There is no way we will emancipate. You see, the truth is, it's not about that's the funny thing about the way we think. You find across the continent, once there's a little problem, some people want out. We no longer want to be in the Republic of Nigeria, want to be Ududua Republic, want to be Biafra, want to be this. That doesn't solve your problem. Your problem solves with correct thinking and holding those closest to you responsible. That's where the problem lies. Before victim to a lot of all these things, I heard this morning some people were phoning in and saying, hey, yes, if you rig, you won't go to America. So that's not the end. That's not the end of the world. How are we sure that some of these people who have this visa ban, how are we sure that they ever went or they ever suggested or ever thought that they'd want to, take a trip to the United States? So, but I'm sure it would have felt a bit better if you told us that, okay, the following people have been banned, and then that would probably set an example, if that is what it was meant to be. Americans need to know that Nigerians are very cynical. If you tell them there's a visa ban on election riggers, they'd like you to take a second look at you and say, okay, who are these people? So I'd like the American government to tell us, we thank them for what they've done. Can we know who are these people? Because I remember the last time during the last election, there was an argument on whether Atiku, whether he had a visa ban or not, and then there was a further rumor that, it was relaxed for him because he was contesting, and so on and so forth. Anyway, the bottom line of my highlighting this story is that, please, let us self-respect ourselves. Why don't we want the will of the people to prevail? We seem to have that thing embedded in us that we are the decision makers and we are going to decide what is going on here. And our people fall for it. Okay, our people fall for it. Do I have a caller? Hello, morning. Please, when you call, make sure you go to a quiet place.
Hello?
And you have only 1 minute. Hello, morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Yeah, my name is Chupu Mandu Isi.
Yes, sir.
Sir, thank you for the topic. And see, sir, if we are not honest with ourselves, I don't think we can ever have a better Nigeria. You know, what the Americans are doing, they're not polishing us. They are just doing something that will help even the Nigerians. Now, all the world are seeing the way politics is being played here and the way elections are being conducted here and the way the results are being determined. And he's not saying anything good about Nigeria. So the reason why they are saying that they will put visa restrictions to those that are responsible is for the others to know that they are watching, that the world is watching us. And I want to say something to you, Mr. Disu. Please, you are the people that we are looking onto, the media. When you want to address us, try to tell us the thing that will make us to have hope in this country. Americans, they are the same the way they are now because they were being the law is being practiced in their place. Somebody in Nigeria in Imo State. Do you see how the man that is in power there now as a governor? Do you see how he came into place? Which country can you see that?
All right, thank you, sir. I said when you do call, you have a minute, so you have to, But your points are well noted, and you said that the media should always tell you things that will give you hope in the country. I think hope has to be premised on truth. You first of all need to know. You first of all need to know what's going down, or like my reggae people will say, you first of all need to know what are going. Okay, I think that the first job of the media is to give you a full-time report on the situation in your country or your environment. It is crucial. We cannot be building castles on sand, building sand castles for you. When we've done that, then we'll not tell you, okay, these are the areas in which we think, you can keep hope alive. So that's what it is. Can I have another one, please? Thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, so actually from what you were talking about.
Your name, sir?
Yeah, so my name is John.
John. Morning, Mr. John.
Yeah, good morning. So actually from what you were talking about, I just want to give a little highlight about it, about the people who were banned from the US visa or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I saw the post and I read through it. They were Ganduje and Yeye Bello, yeah, both of them and some others, So, but actually, this does not. I think it's not. It makes no sense, because they need to be held accountable in their own country, Nigeria, because banning them from US doesn't make them less. Doesn't make them less guilty or you understand what I mean,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
This and also America, America needs to be. They need to stay away from Nigerian politics. They need to keep away from any affairs concerned with Nigeria and just Africa, because based on everything that is happening around the world, like the Middle East and everything, America mingled in the politics and affairs of the other countries, and this led to a lot of problems, terrorism. So most of these terrorism groups, they are sponsored by America, Russia, China, and everything.
Well, okay, so, yeah, like I said, fine. Your point is noted. You had a minute, and well, fair enough. I think, but let me make it very clear. I have no problem with the Americans for whatever they do, because I believe that they're a country who know what they want and they go for it. We are the ones who need to self-respect. That is just my own valid point, my own major point. We need to self-respect. Okay, the Americans should have their agenda and we should have ours. We should be very clear-headed. That's what it's all about. Another story caught my attention this morning. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring it up with Sheriff. And it says here, MQ Abiola's family moves to free sons from detention. Now, it says here that the family of late Bashon Remco Abiola has said it is committed to freeing his two sons, Kasim and Aliu Abiola, from detention, notwithstanding a pending 100 million naira fundamental rights suit against the police. And it says Kasim and Aliu were arrested by the police in connection with the robbery at their Abiola Crescent Ikeja residence. From this story, I believe these two gentlemen were living in the premises. And it says that the family has made its stance in a statement by Mr. Debo Adeleke, counsel to the wife of the acclaimed winner, Chief Mrs. Adebisi Abiola. And he said it will continue to push that Abiola's sons be admitted to administrative bail pending investigation. Now, this is a very, very complex situation. Very, very complex situation. Let me lay it out the way as best as I can. I might not be 100% correct, but let me give you just a fair idea. The whole idea is Abiola's house was robbed by a group of thieves, of course. There wouldn't be any other thing, any but thieves. And his wife, Mrs. Adebisi Abiola particularly, she lives in the premises. And I think with some of these other children, she lives in the premises. She was particularly robbed. And according to this story written by Adebisi Ononuga, which shows very little balance. I don't like journalism of this sort, and I'll soon get to where I quarrel with him. But he says that that these two were arrested, apparently, days back and have not been released, and a lawyer has filed on their behalf for bail. And so he talks about a statement from Debo Adeleke, who is a counsel to the wife of is a counsel to Mrs. Abiola, and says Adeleke drew the attention of the police and indeed the press to the honor and integrity of MKO and the selfless monumental sacrifice he made. And they keep talking about sacrifices that Abiola and so on and so forth. And he says it is on the above premises that the entire members of the Abiola family hereby plead passionately with the public, particularly the press, to be wary and cautious of any publication regarding Chief MKO Abiola's family so as not to dishonor and disrespect the memory of the late sage. This is a tough one for the police to crack, and the last thing I want to do is to be in the shoes of the Commissioner of Police, CP Odumosu, because apart from the fact that you're saying that these guys organize a robbery within their own house, which can be done, yes, it's possible, but we can't take away the person of Abiola and that these two, whatever anybody thinks, these two are his sons. But I have a bit of a worry when I read this paragraph written by Adebisi Ononuga. And it says that the victim, Mrs. Adebisi Abiola, and her daughter are subsequently locked up in her room with the threat by the armed robbers that she and her daughter will be eliminated. Okay, fine. As expected, Chief Mrs. Adebisi Abiola was so petrified, bemused, and stupefied. And I'm wondering why all these superlatives by the unfortunate armed robbery incident that she could not raise an alarm even after the robbers had escaped with their loot running into millions. Fair enough. Then he writes, Mrs. Abiola was eventually freed by other members of the family who had apparently called the police, upon which she and her daughter and other members of the family were interviewed by the police led by the indefatigable and dutiful Lagos State Commissioner of Police in the person of Mr. Hakim Odumosu. Mr. Ononuga, as a journalist, you don't do the things like this. You could just have said the commissioner of police, writing to say he was indefatigable and dutiful and so on and so forth, already shows some kind of bias in this report. And I think that what would help us in all this, to be honest with you, is for the CP to come out with his findings. I think that would help us a lot. I think by now the CP should find the need to address the press and say to them, this is why we have this particular... It's a difficult situation because it's a family thing. Apart from the crime aspect of it, there's also the family involved. Don't forget that Mrs. Adebisi Abiola is the stepmother to these boys. Anyway, so that's where it is, and you need to read the story in the Nation. It's quite extensive, but I just wish that Adebisi Ononuga had been a bit more careful in the way he describes certain things. We would like to call on the commissioner to please. This is not an ordinary case. I think all over the world, some cases have a peculiarity that demands a further explanation. Yes, we know that all animals are equal, but we've also been told in Animal Farm that some are more equal than others, and therefore, a thing like this that involves Abiola's sons robbing in their own house would definitely call for some kind of explanation, and I hope that at some point we will get to that. Sorry, let me quickly add that this is not to say that I believe that Hakim Odumosu is not indefatigable and dutiful. I'm just saying that in writing reports like this, it's better for us to avoid superlatives so that we can have some kind of balance in the mind of the reader. So that's what it is today. Well, we'll take your calls again. Now, please be very careful when you do talk, give your contributions in public. You need to go to a quiet place, switch off the radio, your radio, and then make the call and remember that I have just 1 minute. Can I pick a call there? Morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
It's Obi from First Park.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on the U.S. Story.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is this: if one has refused to respect himself,
yes,
you see people will look you into the face and tell you what they like to tell you. It's a case of in Nigeria now, just like a family where a child is always being beaten up by the parent or the guardian. Today you hear the same voice of a child. Tomorrow you hear the same voice. Next tomorrow you see your neighbors will come into your house.
Yes.
And tell you what you don't want to hear. So in Nigeria, it's because we have failed to do what is right. Our leaders, just like look at this water resource bill, a majority of stakeholders are clamoring against it. But some few individuals have refused to listen. There are some things that people have been clamoring, okay, this is what democracy is. And these people know what, we say we practice democracy, they know what democracy is. So if we say we practice democracy and we play by the rules of democracy, they won't tell us these things. As a matter of fact, they will respect us. They want to do things at par with their own standards. But look at, they are looking us in the face, telling us what we know, what we should know. It's wrong. Because we have refused to put our house together. We have refused to respect ourselves. That's what they will tell it to you. They can't say it to China. They can't say it to Russia the way they are saying it to us. But they will tell us because they feel that we need to. You understand? Because we have refused to respect ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me read this tweet. Thank you very much. Iheme Odi says that if the U.S. keep off from Nigerian politics, Nigerian politicians will kill all Nigerians and nothing will happen. They are helping you, and you say they should. Oh, this is a direct translation from one of our local languages. They are helping you, and you say they should keep off. Okay, that's funny. Well, yes, I mean, you might say that the United States are helping you, but you must know that in everything they do, there's an American agenda that always comes first, and it might not completely be in sync with their own yearnings, but that's a story for another day. Ndubisi Okoli says, first question, who were those denied American visa? And secondly, is America the popular destination nation at the moment? Well, I don't know. When I saw, this is Owulabi Ismail, and he says, when I saw the news about travel ban, I was asking what would be the criteria for issuing the visa ban. Is it the loser or the winner that gets the ban, and so on and so forth? Yeah, so let me see. Do we have any WhatsApp messages? No, not yet. Okay, let's pick a call, then I'll look. I have another story here I want to highlight before I go. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir.
You have Solomon on the line.
Solomon, no wonder, Babalomo, where you still have all these children. Did you have another set of children during COVID?
Neighbor.
Okay, go on quickly. You have a minute.
Uncle Jimmy.
Yes,
please,
sir.
Concerning this US band or whatever,
Yes.
did they put name? I'm asking you.
Not what I have here, but somebody has said that, yes, they did mention some names.
In all the news that I had this morning in Nigerian dailies, apart from your home program, there was nowhere they put name. So, Uncle Jimmy, please beware of people that will just come and solve some name on social media and come and bring such name on your program, please. Thank you.
All right. Now, I have this curious story in the Tribune, and I said to myself, have we gone that bad? It says here that the court remands 6 persons in prison for allegedly recording pornographic video at the Osun Osogbo shrine. You know, I said, is this how far down we have gone? And it says that the magistrate's court sitting in Osogbo ordered the remand of 6 persons, you know, in correctional facility, or another name for prison, for allegedly recording pornographic video at the Osun Osogbo shrine. I don't understand what it is with porno and Nigerians now. You know, even on the porno sites now, you have sites that are dedicated to Nigerians, and Nigerians, you know, one keeps getting these things, they're exposing it all, you know. And like I said the other day, if I remember, I think I said sometime last week, if you are in the habit of going to a hotel, or even indeed you're going on vacation hotel with your wife and so on and so forth, you better be looking out for cameras and know how far you want to go. I found this story quite intriguing. Of all places, you want to record a pornographic video at Osun Osogbo. Well, that is what the police accuse them of. Let me read. It says the police prosecutor informed the court that the accused persons committed the offense on or about July 25 at about 12:30 p.m. That's in broad daylight. And he alleged that the accused persons did act in a pornographic drama or film with young girls who were half naked, and thereafter sent it for public consumption. The question I'd like to ask is, how do you record a pornographic video half naked? You might be recording an inappropriate video, but I don't know if it comes to pornographic. If it's going to be pornographic, then you most likely the actors, the participants, would not have been half naked. Which half was naked, up or down? We need to find this. Anyway, the accused persons pleaded not guilty to the allegations preferred against them. Now, one of the accused persons told the court that they went to the shrine for excursion, explaining that they only took pictures. But the defense counsel, Tubosun Oladipupo, applied for the bail of the accused persons in most liberal terms, saying that the offenses were bailable. Could it be that they were skimpily dressed and taking photographs there? Could that be what the police term to be porno? For example, I'd love to know, if I were the magistrate, one of the things I'd be asking is, can I see a video of the environment? Did they think they were at a beach? Was there some waterfall or whatever? Anyway, the prosecutor, you know, when the defense counsel, Tubosun Oladipupo, applied for bail, the prosecutor opposed the bail, saying that the accused were not residents of Osogbo and their location is not known by the police, and that one of them is actually a Cameroonian. And so in his ruling, the magistrate, Ishola Mishade, ordered the remand of the accused persons in the Ilesha Correctional Center, or Ilesha prisons, so that you can get, and subsequently adjourned the matter till September 17. Today is 15, so in 2 days' time, they will decide on bail. Now, my thinking, and I'm not saying this as a matter of fact, I'm just thinking my mind is playing games. I'm saying, I hope it wasn't that some young people went there skimpily dressed and were taking photographs. There's a difference between that taking inappropriate photographs, and pornography. Pornography is what it is. Pornography, direct, live and direct. I think as the case moves on, but it is time for me also to warn our younger people to be extremely careful about the things that you do in public. You need to be extremely careful. People need to know their boundaries. Yesterday, I was sitting down quietly by myself in my house. When I got for example, I got a WhatsApp message from somebody talking about some movement wanting to get out of Nigeria, sending me pamphlets, and I said to myself, there is something, whether you like it or not, there is something called treason, and I'd rather not be part of things like this. And so once again, I use the opportunity to explain to people that leaving Nigeria is not going to solve my own problem. What is going to solve my own problem is I need to face the people who are nearest to me. They are the ones who are making life difficult for me. The local government. I'm not saying me in particular, but I'm just using myself as an example. Your local government chairman, your governors, your so on and so forth, your House of Reps, your this and that. Some of them are your number one enemies. Some, not all, are your number one enemies, but you don't know it. They craftily point fingers at other people. They craftily point fingers at other things. But they are the ones who are holding you down. Well, anyways, I'd like to, please, I'd rather not have a lot of this literature. I need to put food on my table. That in itself is a tough task. Abby? Yes, the lady here also, she's the one who goes to the market every day. Let me take one or two more calls and I'll be out of here. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, yes. Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
This is Paul calling from Isolo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, Uncle Jimmy, I want to talk about the American visa ban.
Yes.
Please, it's not just visa ban. Why them not stop receiving this looted money? They should also put ban to it. It's not just banning them visa only. They collect their money and they say they are banning them, giving them visa ban. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Also, on the Oshogo issue, that the please, Uncle Jimmy, if police write allegation against you, some police, or not all of them, write allegation on a deaf and dumb, the person will talk. Seriously. If they accuse you falsely, a deaf and dumb will talk and begin to hear. So those are things, when we hear all these things, when you look into it, I'm not taking side, but being sincere or what, we know what is happening, the way most of our dresses or what. But I don't believe a same person will go and commit on a broad daylight and commit, say they want
at
to.
2 p.m.
There's two different things there. Acting, well, I don't want to use that bad language or what, and no, it can't be true. Thank you.
Well, no, I can't really comment because the case is in court, so I can't comment on what you said. I'm sorry, but I hope the truth does come out during the trial. That is the best I can hope for these young people. Yeah, I know what it's like. Usually they go for the highest charge and times like this. Archbishop Robert says that, good morning, Jimmy, on pornography is so disheartening. It's the many negative sides of technology. However, there must be a renewed effort by government on national reorientation. Ndubisi Okoli says that, okay, Jimmy, there's nothing familiar about the robbery attempt to kill residents. Let a proper investigation be done and those indicted be prosecuted. Yes, that's what nobody would ask otherwise. But I think it's time that the Commissioner of Police wades in and makes public what his findings are so far. Because it's a very, very sensitive issue. Very, very sensitive issue. Okay. 9:51. Any minute from now, I'll have to close the program. Let me just take one more call. Hello, morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Yeah, this is Ofoyemi on the line.
Morning, Mr. Ofoyemi. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
Good.
I just want to quickly chip in something.
Yeah, go on.
That about the pornographic thing.
Yeah.
That guy is actually a Nigerian porn star.
Who?
The guy that led them there.
Oh,
That
really?
place. Oh, yes. I know him. His name has been up and down online for some time. In fact, I've known him as a porn star for like 3 years.
How did you know he's a porn star? That means that you also watch porn.
No, well,
I catch you there now.
But I read all this online news, all the blogs and everything. So
Yes.
he's always on and off, back and forth with one issue or the other.
Okay.
So
All right.
was
He'll
the
have
one
his
that
day in
led
court.
them.
He'll have his day in court.
Mhm.
He'll have his day in court. Thank you very much. Okay, that's where I knock it off for today because Collins would come in another 2-3 minutes and then he'll read the news and he'll do his program. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, 9 o'clock. Diabumi is tomorrow. Diabumi has, as my guests, I have Mr. and Mrs. Ron Ngbatogo, who have been together for close to about 50 years. And they've been married for about, I think, 43 years or so. And what makes it interesting is that Mr. Ngbatogo, I think, is from the east, and I think Mrs. Ngbatogo is from the west. And they've stayed together. You see the way these things work out. So they'll be here tomorrow. We'll hear from them how they made it so far. And then, of course, we'll do the normal Diabumi that we do every Wednesday. I'd like to thank all of you for listening and thank my sister, too, sorry? Zainab, yes, Zainab. See, I was almost going to call her Aisha. So I'm sure she knew that I knew asking. Where is Philip behind that pillar? Oh, okay. He pops his head out. Thank you very much, Philip. Okay, so we'll be here tomorrow, same time. Okay, and as soon as I leave, any minute from now, I know Collins will walk in and take over. See you tomorrow.